Welcome back everyone. This is chapter 2 in open filler storage. We are going to just see the overview of all the available menu here, and let me go through one by one menu. Let me log into the open filler dashboard first. Open filler, and the password is default password is password. Once we get into the open filler, it will take us to the status menu, so the we can check what are the status of the this server, host name and the IP address and the system informations, network cards and the used memory, what's the buffer, what the kernel buffer, cache, and what's the free space available in the disk and everything. Okay, and one more thing, at the right side section, status section, we can see the iSCSI targets. If we have configured with the iSCSI, we can check the status of the iSCSI here. But it's we are going to see in the later in the upcoming chapters. In the FC target status, we can't able to check the status because we are not going to use the FC here. If you are going to implement the open filler storage in any one of the production environment, sure with the FC, so sure you can check the status. And in the top of the system, the second menu, the network configuration, we can see the network configuration here. The host name was storage1.linuxgeekvideos.com. If you want to change to any one of the host name by later, once your initial setup was happened, I have provided the host name storage1.linuxgeekvideos.com. If you want to change the host name now to storage str or something dot linuxgeekvideos.com, we can change here. And to configure the IP of static IP or to create a bond, we can use this option to configure. And if I want to define a separate network for my shares, UPS, I can define here. Okay, it's ACL. And in the right side section, the system access system section in the right side, the clock setup was to configure the time. It's already configured, and if I want to synchronize the time with the NTP, synchronize the time with any one of the NTP server, I can use this option. Okay, my current time zone was I have chosen as Dubai, and the system clock use UTC. It's coming from the hardware clock. Okay, and by that system section, under the system section menu, the UPS management. I don't have a UPS right now to check and configure. In the production environment, it's very important to check for the backup time, and if the power losses happened, storage want to be run from the backup, and it want to alarm or shut down according to the rules what we are going to configure. Okay, and the fourth option is shut down by reboot. So if I want to reboot or shut down, just I am going to the command line. I don't want to shut down init 0 or shut down -h now. I don't want to use those options. Instead, we want to use this option because it will save all the configurations. It will save all the disk operation, and it will shut down by stage for no data loss. Okay, and if I want to choose to check for a file system check on the startup while the server coming back, I can choose this option. And notification, email notification, the email notification, if something happened to the storage or something in any one of the incident or something, I can get notified using the email. Just I want to configure a post peaks or send mail to send out the mail. Okay, and this is system update. Next chapter we are going to see about this. In this chapter they are showing that 2011 April the update was last update was the server setup packages are available. Let us see how to upgrade these packages. Okay, and backup and restore, the backup and restore option is just for taking the configuration backups and keep it safe, and we can later restore. If I am going to build a new setup, the server, I can do the configuration backup. Just do download a configuration backup now by clicking the download, and I can browse and upload to restore those services. What are the configuration settings? I can restore it. This is, I don't want to go to the command line interface in another window. Just I can click the activate Java, allow now or allow and remember. I can load the Java console here, and I can access the terminal here itself. Okay, now it will load my Java console. Anyway, we can see this later. So I am moving forward to the next heading menu, the volumes. The volumes is just I'm going to present a physical disk, a raw disk or something to this server, and I want to create a volume inside this. Inside that, okay. Manage volumes in the sub menu. In the sub menu, there is a manage volumes. So if I want to get the volumes and everything, first of all, I want to add a block device, a physical device. I want to add it to this server for storing all the information. Once I add with the block device, I can create a volume and I can share it through a ISKZ, and I can create a physical volume, LUNs and everything I can do from here. Okay. So for before I adding the volumes, I first of all I want to add a block device. So we don't have a block device now. So later we can see that. Under the ISKC target, we can add a ISKC target with my own defined name. Here it's a .com openfiller tsn. Instead of that, I can define my own. Okay. Once I add with any one of the disk, I can go to do those steps. Before that, we can't able to do. This chapter is about just an overview of all the available menus, so just we are going through the menus. Okay, and the software rights, if we have multiple disks and want to create a software right, we can create it without any issue. We don't have a cluster setup yet. We can talk about the cluster setup in the separate chapter. And the quotas, what are the quotas want to be defined for the users. If a gym, the username called gym, he want to use only 10 GB of disk space, and he don't want to use more than 10 GB, we can define here. Thus once the volume, the block device added, volumes defined, then only we can go through the quota. Okay, the shares. In the shares, we can see the existing shares, but at now we have not created with any shares, NFS share or FTP or Samba share, anything. It's all once we added with the disk only it will come. But anyway, going through the step by step menus, I am explaining this. And under the services, if you want to use the CAFS, it's Samba. Okay, if I want to use a Samba share, I want to first of all I want to enable the this option, modify boot. I want to enable the this, and I want to start the service, and the NFS, awesome, HTTPD, LDAP service, FTP, okay, EPS monitor, ISKZ toggle, FC toggle, everything I want to start here, enable and start. If I going to choose the enable, it will enable the service when this storage machine coming up. The service FTP will start running while this service was coming up. Current status of this is it won't start while the booting time. The storage machine came up before some few minutes back, 18 minutes back, and this service was not started because I have not enabled this. Okay, once enabled, the service will be started automatically whenever the server boots up. If you want to start it manually, now if I want to start it manually now, I can click the option start. Okay, so that the service will be started now. Okay, and by following the Samba CAF setups, Samba share, it's a Samba share. You can define a Samba share in under any one of the volume, and we can mount that any one of the server in the client machines and use as a file Samba share file sharing system. The LDAP setup, to set up, I don't want to use a local account. I want to authenticate with the AD, Active Directory, or with the LDAP server. Those features also we have here. Okay, LDAP service is just based on the Linux. So if I have a LDAP server, I can set up the LDAP authentication with these options. And if I have a UPS to monitor my storage server health, and if the power loss is going on, power loss, is there. My UPS want to give the backup to the server for the power, and once the battery getting dried, it want to notify and it want to shut down automatically. Like that, many rules we can define here. The rsync setup, just a file copy setup, and the or iSCSI target setup. So I don't have a volume now, so I'm not going to configure these setups. I'll show it later. FTP setup, we have everything like a Samba. The FTP is the one, and if you want to change the password of the current account, you want to go to the accounts and admin password. Here I can change the current password and the new password, so that it will change the password. This is the groups and user by default defined one. And authentication, if I want to create if I have a number of users in my AD account, I want to integrate the users with the AD account. I want to authenticate some of the users. I have 10 storage admins and they want to access the storage. I don't want to create a local accounts. For the security reason, I can provide them the LDAP authentication or WinBind authentication by integrating our LDAP, our Kerberos, NIS, all the features are available here. Okay. At last, we are going to see the top menu. There is a status, update, and shutdown. These three options are just already we have gone through those things, but the same options they are providing here. Okay, and the shutdown. Okay, these are the three. In the top of the header, we can see the uptime and the load and the load average 1 minute, 5 minutes, and 15 minutes. By following, we are going to see more topics about the OpenFiler storage management. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel by clicking the right GNU logo. Thank you.